Many beginning hypnotherapists and psychotherapists have this difficulty. They can't come up with metaphors. It's really not easy, and it's really something you have to learn, and it takes a lot of experience to make metaphors beautiful, interesting, and hit the target accurately. Metaphors are the kind of beautiful stories you tell a person in a trance, in order to have the effect you want on them. For example, if a person is just tired and just needs to relax, calm down, then the metaphor will be for relaxation. That is, we will make up stories in which the characters relax, lie down in a crib, and are lulled to sleep. We are going to talk about the seashore, how the waves slowly roll in on the shore. That is, we will tell something relaxing from natural phenomena, from the lives of people or some characters. If a person has a task, for example, something has happened to them and they need to solve it, something unforeseen, our hero will have this situation. Our story will revolve around her. In order to do this quickly and effectively, you need to practice improvisation skills. And improvisation skills, I have separate video lessons where you practice them for a few minutes a day, and that skill stays with you for life. That is, if you are a successful psychologist, psychotherapist, and you need this because of your profession, then I recommend that you spend these few minutes to improve your skills, to develop the skill once and for all, and to improve it further. So, let's imagine that you've already taken this training in improvisation, you've been there for 1 or 2 weeks, and you're such a great expert, a metaphor maker. How do we match the metaphor to a particular person, build it? If it is an adult man, for example, he is 40 to 50 years old, he is very fat, big, and, for example, he is fond of fishing, as we learn from a conversation, then the most logical metaphor is to arrange the rights of the main character, for example, some huge elephant. Unhurried, big and wise. Or take some bear. And to say directly that once upon a time there was a man, he was huge. I think it would be a little unethical, yes, to speak directly to a man about his own. Therefore, it is better to use some kind of animal. It's the same with children. If you are working with toddlers and there is a need to tell them some story that they would listen to, heed, draw conclusions, or even some suggestion to give, then use characters from fairy tales. Use small animals. My stomach was a little mouse. He was very unflappable. He was always raring to go somewhere, doing something, and his mom was very unhappy. She scolded him often. We start the story by describing the character so that the person identifies themselves. So we have a compilation of metaphors. The way it goes is that we first identify, that is, create a character that looks like a person. Next, the story will build to get more accurately into the same scenery where one is used to being. I mean, if it's a kindergarten, something happened to the mouse there, then it has happened at the kindergarten. If we have a man who's an elephant, he's got something going on there. At the dacha, for example, yes, or where he has a country house, then we will, accordingly, take that place. If it's on the job, it's on the job. So the elephant went to his job. He had a lot of elephants like that, some smaller, some bigger, but they all did the same thing. And so it happened, yes. Next, we're in history. The first thing we're doing is pointing. As always, as in any trance. The second is identification. Third. The third thing we have is history. The fourth is the event itself. Problem. What's wrong? What's wrong? That is, we describe what happened, what kind of problem the person came in with. Events, problems, what happened. And on to the fifth. We'll be the ones with a way out, a solution. I mean, he's got to decide something. Naturally, not him, but in a metaphor, we as psychologists throw him a variant of how this problem is solved. That is, if the little mouse did something, yes, his mom is not happy, here he broke a vase, for example. And here in the decision, we've already. Mom starts crying, like, we have a mouse. She's very pitiful. And the little mouse decides that he's not going to upset his mommy anymore. Yeah, that's the solution. Or the elephant we have, yeah, he's having trouble at work. He can't get along with the principal, for example. And so the most important elephant, there he was violated, he failed to carry the log he was carrying. And the most important elephant was very displeased. To the point of wanting to eliminate him from his population, from his herd. And this elephant was grieving, wondering what he should do. And then a thought occurred to him. Why? And that's where you throw options on what you can do. Or, if you're working as a team with your patient and you've already handed him the reins, what do you think he said? What did he come up with? And then the person's subconscious mind itself will prompt the right decision, what he wants. For example, learning how to communicate with the principal. Or learn how to do the job more efficiently. Or change jobs altogether to have a different principal. Or remove the director altogether and become the director himself. That is, we have to get to the bottom of what a person wants, and the solution will lie in this very presentation. To get to the bottom of it, once again, you can use leading questions, so that the person will give you the answer themselves. And let's say he opened this magic book, and there was a solution to this problem written there. Tell me what you see, what it says. And the person himself tells what was written there and how the problem is solved. That's how we compose metaphors, come up with them specifically for each person.